Manaloe done set up here and dropped this beautiful song calling herself a Solani Black American princess of Babs. And y'all out here arguing. I've been seeing a lot of folks go back and forth about the term Solani, what it means, and who is allowed to identify as Solan or Solani. And y'all, it ain't no need to debate about it because the creators literally told us. Now, folks is debating back and forth about whether or not it's Solan or Solani. It is both. It's both. And it is a term that refers to the distinct culture, history, and knowledge of Black Americans before and after colonization in America. That means we do recognize our pre-Columbian existence in America. So they recognize the transatlantic slave trade, which they also talk about earlier on the page. And then they also recognize that there were indigenous Black Americans. So both FBA, ADOS, everybody is included, Black America.
All the other flags in the background, but this flag, okay, we already know our flags are T. But the way it's got pink on it, Black American Prince, I can't get enough. Like, I haven't put on my bows in a minute, but she's really about to make me put on my little pink bows. We truly made the right person famous. Rise up, all my sexy Solans.
Hello guys, welcome back to today's episode, and of course today we are jumping into this powerful song that is dedicated to Black Americans, especially at this time when they are saying that Black Americans have no culture. But by the title of this song, Sex Solani, Solani itself represents Black American culture, and the Hoodoo also mentioned in this song. It's actually a strong connection to the spiritual world of Black Americans that have been used for a long time. So I understand why should Black Americans not be left and do their own thing and celebrate their culture, because look at how this song have really influenced. So many have influenced the Caribbeans, the Africans. They want to be in, but sometimes I understand that how Black Americans feel that each and every time they try to celebrate themselves, they try to do their own thing, they try to practice their own culture. Every other Black person want to be involved in the cookout, and they, at a particular point, they say that some say Black Americans have no culture. But today we want to just expound on this song. I feel that it's a hit. It's actually a good song for Black Americans, especially at this time, to prove that actually Black Americans have strong culture, because the name Solani is actually a big name. It's not just like a name, it's a name with its root, because the first part, the soul, is actually represent the soul food for Black Americans. It represents the soul music. It also represents the unique identity of Black Americans. And then the second part, of course, the Solani, the A in the Solani actually represent that, I cannot say that word, it's actually a hard word for me to say, but it actually represents, or its purpose was actually to identify Black Americans as native, because they have contributed to building the nation. So let's dive into the video, some of the reaction, and of course kudos to Manaloe for this sexy Solani song. I feel it, but I don't know whether I'm invited to the cookout, but I feel it. So let's get some of the reaction, and of course kudos to content creators. Let's dive in and hear, and then I come back with more comment.
Y'all was just having diaspora wars, quite literally. Y'all was just saying Black Americans didn't have any culture. Y'all was just saying not too long ago the flag was fake. We made it up. We made it up. Pulled it out of our ass. Now everybody's singing Sexy Solani from their chest. What's happening? Y'all just said we made that up to feel included. Now y'all want to be included? Shout out to Mona Leo, babe. You ate that, but like, what the fuck is happening, honestly? How quickly we forget. The North remembers.
I'm convinced more likely than not that 95% of the diaspora wars that happen online are started by bots and started by white people. Because there's no way you're telling me that this girl, Manaloe, made a song called Sexy Soulani, and rightfully so. She made a song about being a Black American princess. And she has one scene that I personally loved where the Black American flag was at the center. The scene, but behind that flag was flags of every country in the Caribbean and everyone who is a product of the transatlantic slave trade who exists here in the same way that we exist in America, showing solidarity among Black people and saying that everybody not Black, this song is not for you, but this song is particularly about and for Black American people. And she's talking about hoodoo things, she's talking about Black American culture, she's talking about and showing things specific to our culture here in America. But then I just opened TikTok and I saw 4 videos of people from the Caribbean and other places mad that the song is called Sexy Soulani, or then trying to co-opt the song. Do you know how much music is made particularly about the Caribbean, particularly about Latinos, Latinas, particularly about those women? Why can't Black Americans have a song? It's very confusing. And then on the flip side, you have all the FBA people who I think are crazy bot leftists and getting paid to do so, are mad that she even included other flags. You do know, outside of this app and outside of the online discourse that is continuously happening, Black people live amongst each other in harmony in so many major cities around this world.
What I love the most is that the founders made it very clear that the reason that they wanted to distinguish African Americans, Black Americans who have ancestral roots and ties to America from all of the Black people in America was because they wanted it to be clear that there is a specific Black American culture. And we have to keep in mind that this is coming after a lot of people questioned whether or not Black Americans have culture and the value of Black American culture. So their intent was to distinguish and differentiate Black American culture from all other cultures of Black people in the diaspora and specifically in America. Now, what I find so interesting about this is that the term Black American and African American became popular during the Pan-African movement, where you had a lot of Pan-African leaders wanting Black people in America to feel more connected to the diaspora and feel more connected to Africa. So it's interesting that now that's kind of like being a little bit reversed through the Solani movement, where people are saying, no, we need to get back to distinguishing ourselves because we've become, in a sense, too inclusive. I think it's an interesting, a journey. Now, the big debate that has everybody in a hold is whether or not you can be bi-ethnic or biracial and identify as Solani. So, for example, can you have one African American parent and one Afro-Haitian parent, or one Jamaican parent, or can you have a white parent and still identify as Solani? And essentially the creator said it depends on the vibe. Do you have the soul vibe and soul frequency? If so, yes. If not, then no. And how I receive this is basically, y'all, it's like a black card, right? Like, you know how some people be giving out black cards and they'll say your black card is revoked. Solani or Solani is the same way. Are you a part of the soul culture and soul group? And I think that this idea or this practice is so interesting because you have people like Malcolm X, right? Who Malcolm X would be considered bi-ethnic. He comes from a Grenadian mother and an African-American father, right? So is he on the Solani frequency? Is Malcolm X Solan? You have Huey P. Newton, right? One of the founders of the Black Panther Party. And he comes from a mixed race father and a African-American mother. Is he Solan or Solani? Like, does he get the Solani card, right? So it's that type of thing where we would have to review our revolutionaries and change agents of the past who were bi-ethnic or biracial. We would have to review people present day and decide whether or not they are worthy or soulful enough, I guess, to get a Solani card. So now that we got us a clear definition of Solan and the reason why and the meaning behind it and who's allowed to identify, y'all tell me what y'all think and feel about the term Solan, and do you identify as Solan?
Hello and welcome back. We want to look deep into these two words, Solani and Hoodoo. When Manaloe dropped Sexy Solani, it sounded sensual, smooth, even mysterious. But beneath that rhythm lies a coded message. Because Solani isn't just a word, it's a spiritual declaration. It's the rebirth of Black Soul, a bridge between ancestral memory and modern identity. Every beat, every syllable carries a vibration older than America itself. The soul in Solani stands for everything that defines Black Americans' living heartbeat. The soul in soul music, the soul in soul food, and the soul that shaped the entire cultural identity from struggle, rhythm, and faith. It's the same soul that turned pain into art, oppression into melody, and trauma into transcendence. Now, the An represents the auto. That name is very difficult. The autochthonous descendants of enslaved Africans, the people whose bloodlines were forged on American soil. They are not visitors, they are native to the struggle, indigenous to the nation's soul, and architect of its cultural foundation. Before there was America as we know it, their ancestor built its body, and their spirit became its rhythm. So, Solani means more than sexy. It means divine lineage, a celebration of Black spirit that birthed the very idea of soul itself. When Manaloe references Hoodoo in Sex Solani, he is invoking the ancestral technology that kept that soul alive. Because Solani in the essence and Hoodoo in the power that protects it. Together they form a cycle. One feels, the other acts. One sings, the other works. It's emotional meeting energy, art meeting ancestry. Hoodoo was born in the field of American South, a spiritual rebellion crafted by enslaved Africans who refused to be spiritual broken. They took the remarks of West and Central Africa tradition, Yoruba, Congo, Akan, and merged them with Native American herbal wisdom and European folk techniques. From that fusion came rootwork, conjure, hoodoo, the hidden language of survival. They learned to pray through psalms, heal through roots, and speak power through whispers. A single candle, a lock of hair, a buried charm, every act carried meaning. And when they called on the Lord, it wasn't submission, it was activation. Hoodoo turned faith into weaponry and spiritual into resistance. Now, let's make something clear. Hoodoo is not voodoo. Voodoo or voodoo is a religion born in Haiti and Louisiana with structured rituals, deities, and priests. Hoodoo, on the other hand, is a folk magic, a personal spiritual practice born from Black American experience. Voodoo calls upon spirits known as Iwa. Hoodoo calls upon ancestors and the power within. Voodoo worships, hoodoo works. One builds temple, the other builds strength. Through Hoodoo, Black Americans reclaimed control in the system that stripped them of everything. They could heal their sick when no doctor would, protect their children when the law refused to seek justice, when courts were blind. Hoodoo whispered a secret that's still true today. The world may control your body, but never your spirit. It wasn't sorcery, it was survival science. It was Africa's memory rewritten in American language. So when Manaloe sings Sex Solani, and drops that word hoodoo, he is paying tribute to the ancestral intelligence that built Black Americans from ashes. He is acknowledging that Solani women, sensual, spirit, and strong, is living descendant of that power. Her beauty is resistance. Her rhythm is prayer. Her soul is conjure. Through her, the energy of hoodoo still moves in our art, our love, our music, our rebellion. It's the reminder that blackness isn't just physical, it is metaphysical. So yes, Sex Solani is more than a love song. It's a coded hymn for people who turn suffering into soul and magic into memory. From Solani to hoodoo, from rhythm to root. This isn't just history, it's a living current. We are not what they made us. We are what they could never destroy. We are the Solani nation. So that is my commentary today, guys. I have nothing much to say. If you have opinion on this song, Sex Solani, tell me how you feel about it. Until we meet next time, peace, love, and harmony.